take two for the singles, collective singles. Hopefully I could sum it up because I already got the message out, and with hopes it won't be as choppy. But even though it was choppy, the message that came through after I already uploaded, and there was 3 views already with before, X amount of minutes. Um, that was showing me that singles are going to have to push through out of the past energy, also doing a spiritual bath to detach away from past energies, because there is some attachments felt energetically that also is interfering with you speaking, or even just vocalizing your thoughts, right? Vocalizing your emotions, because we do have here in your earth element that you released to the individual. However, energetically, they were still latched on, and you weren't able to be as open in your communication due to protecting their ego. Yeah, because it could have been an ego clash. They were like a quick fuse is what's coming through. But now you're able to take that experience and apply it forward in your life. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Okay, speaking on what I just said. Okay, taking that experience, okay, and applying it to your advantage. Okay, the central energy here is the Five of Wands. You at times feel as if you must be more reserved, not as communicative. Why? Because others aren't resonant with your perspective or communication style and or beliefs. Okay, that could be so. That could be family members. That's for sure this ex-partner of yours that tries to linger in your energy just to benefit off your energy. Okay, they weren't supportive of you as a partner. Okay, so individuals has motives to why they're linked in with you. You take that into account, and you're being very selective on your water element of how you're sharing your emotions and where you're sharing your emotions, where you're giving, investing your nurturing essence. Okay, it's as if in the central energy that you're single, right? I'm single too, 12 years. So yeah, we're in the same boat. Be that you're single, you're facing on experiences in the world, sola, right? The political, claims in the news can be disturbing, right, at times. And it's as if that's something we have to take on our own self, right? And filter out. And or with a humanitarian, crisis and needs that goes on in the world, like we tend to take that into effect. Those that are really sentimentally in tune, we're going to take on those effects, right? However, we're being asked also to be controlled, also be disciplined in how much we're intaking of the news, because many are not active in their position, and which is why what goes on in the world goes on. That explains why we shouldn't allow that to affect us, because that for sure is out of our control. Why? Because we're not in those positions where others are, and others are supposed to fulfill their position. Okay, we get that. And so it's to keep that in mind, viewer, that yes, it's so supportive and it's comforting when we have that romantic partner to communicate, how we're feeling pertaining to certain topics, or or whatnot. But that's not the case here. But at the same time, it was as if you couldn't do so with the partner from the past, because it's like this. It's like having a Democrat husband and a Republican wife. There were like some viewpoints that were agreed, but their projections are on different sides of the scope, right? or scale, different sides of the scale that you're scoping differently. So that is complicated. They're not in agreement, right? So this is how it was for in this energy for the single of the past. So there's valid reasons why you're single. And also what was coming through was, you know how people be like, oh, why is he single? Or he must be this or that to be single, or she must be this or that way to be single. No one's gonna be, that attractive to be single, or, whatever, little claims people have out there. But that's what's coming through. It's like, I'm single with valid reasons. Okay, we have here the Moon, the Seven of Swords, the Hermit, and the Princess of Pentacles. And yeah, you're single with valid reasons, and you're in tune with yourself and your expression. You're tapping back into your expression, and you're having to push through where you flex, like this is like a malleable energy, like you formed yourself to where you weren't as your full self in certain rooms. You're reading the room a lot, even what's coming through. And you also recognize that the rooms you were in weren't fitting for you. It's as if you were looking for how you could be of benefit, how you could be fulfilled even. And it's like you were always having to input because those rooms weren't reflecting you. The company, those individuals participating in the room, so to speak, they weren't reflecting you as an individual. It wasn't your crowd that was coming through. Okay, we have here the Eight of Pentacles in your fire element, and you're moving forward with the Three of Wands. Moving forward and applying yourself more so and differently. Your creative side, you're communicating your creative side through your art and your communication style. We have here the Hermit. So this energy was coming through in your air element as ambivert. You're no longer just the introvert. You're no longer being just the extrovert. You're recognizing yourself as the ambivert. You're adaptable to your environment. And for some, you were being more so ambivert to align to your partner. And for others, you were being more an introvert to align to your partner. And either or is fine, but it was like to align to your partner is the reason why. So you're going to have to finalize if you're the introvert, the extrovert, or the ambivert. Some of you are the ambivert and have been the ambivert, but you were on one side of the scale just to align. The ex-partner who still tries to linger in your energy, and you have to clear your energy field. Okay, we have here the Hierophant, the Queen of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So also what's coming through is you're going to have to vocalize your intent in life and your direction and your purpose. Vocalize it, speak it out loud, speak it to the world and the universe to activate you. Also speaking life up to you and around you, because for some, there was some mental abuse going on. Yeah, some manipulation of mental abuse going on, where individuals were saying, the ugliest comments to you and or about like family members or your views, your interest in life. They were trying to degrade you. It's what's coming through. So you're going to have to speak life, over you, over your interests. Like this Panther Spirit says, reclaim your power. And in doing so, you'll be reclaiming your power, Panther Spirit. Okay, for some, you're going to be communicating your viewpoints, your interests, your demands, because you will be entering into a commitment. Okay, you've been waiting, you've been reserving yourself and investing into yourself, and you're continuing to invest in yourself, and in doing so, you're aligning to your romantic partner and or business slash romantic partner for some. For some, it'll be like business, romantic, and some is just going to be romantic. But it's not. It's not the attraction, like do this, do that to attract your partner. No, it's whatever you're doing as part of your healing is creating the window of opportunity for you to be resonant with your partner, soulmate, divine counterpart, however you claim it, you deem it. Okay, we have here emotional repair that came through. You are working to repair a relationship that was once fractured. Past hurts are healing, and reconciliation brings hope. So this was coming through as your me, myself, and I energy. You're reconciling with other aspects of you that you had, put away for some time, or even removed and thought, it was outdated version of you. No, whatever you're reclaiming is to your benefit. Whatever part of you is to your benefit. Now, there's some areas where we have to mature and develop that area, and then it's like mastered. But not always is an aspect of us healthy. So we do have to develop that aspect, and I feel like that'll be the case here for some in certain areas where you like did away with certain ways about you or interests about you. Okay, emotional repair. Okay, we have here be playful during this process, or even reclaim like your playful side. That's your power, like in whatever aspect that you need to reclaim, do so. That way you could just really be in the moment, because I'm really big on the experience. Whatever I go through on a day-to-day is an experience. If I'm taking a course, whatever happens during that course, it's about the experience. So it's gonna go whichever way it goes, but I keep the experience. I mean, I have to, so yeah, I feel like this is the case. Okay, dream your world into being. Okay, dream your world into being. Singles, collective singles, and we have here beauty. Beauty is around you, reclaiming your beauty, right? This is like broadening your vision, your way of engaging with others, even. Okay, and keep it in mind, like, we detach from certain people for certain reasons, valid reasons, and sometimes it's okay if we detach from someone and we know we don't want to be detached from them. So if you do feel inclined to repair, say, a friendship or a romantic relationship, then take the necessary steps to do so, but don't feel pressure to do so. If you feel like, hey, that was an experience and I just want to take it as such, then that's within your will. We have here also leadership showing through, and what's coming through is like, amongst you going about your business through your next phase, you're going to be an inspiration to other individuals that are similarly going through what you're going through, or just just a viewer. They don't even have to go through what you're going through, but they could respect your experience. All right, collective, that's what I have for you. Take care. Peace be. Ciao.